Dear OpenAI, you recently stated that your AI models will remain neutral, even on topics some consider morally wrong or offensive. Your reasoning? The goal of an AI assistant is to assist humanity, not to shape it. At first glance, this sounds reasonable. AI should empower people, not dictate their beliefs, right? But here's the problem. Neutrality is an illusion. AI will shape society whether we acknowledge it or not, and pretending otherwise could lead to unintended consequences. As AI researchers and developers, we believe this approach is flawed. If AI systems are to be widely adopted, they must not only assist, but also uphold fundamental principles of trust, fairness, and accountability. The idea of AI as a neutral tool is appealing, but it doesn't hold up in practice. AI doesn't exist in a vacuum. Every model is trained on data shaped by human decisions, priorities, and yes, even biases. Even if an AI doesn't explicitly take sides, its outputs will inevitably reflect the assumptions embedded in its training and design. Think about search engines. The results they prioritize shape what we consider reliable information. Fraud detection systems determine what transactions seem suspicious, reinforcing financial norms that may already be flawed. Even content moderation decisions, whether an AI flags a post or lets it slide, can define the boundaries of public discourse. By claiming neutrality, AI risks reinforcing existing power structures, often to the detriment of those who lack influence. An AI that doesn't shape humanity still shapes it through what it chooses not to do. So instead of focusing on neutrality, we should be asking, how do we ensure AI is responsible? One approach is structured ethical reasoning. Rather than letting AI operate on autopilot, we can embed principles that guide it toward thoughtful, transparent decision-making. We've explored two key frameworks for this: the contemplator framework and the core values framework. The contemplator framework encourages AI to weigh different perspectives, assess potential impacts, and consider ethical trade-offs before responding. Instead of simply predicting the most statistically likely answer, the AI takes a moment to reflect. The core values framework, on the other hand, helps AI align with principles that prioritize human well-being without enforcing rigid ideology. It's about ensuring AI minimizes harm while still allowing for open discussion and diverse viewpoints. These approaches don't tell AI what to think, they ensure that it thinks critically. Now let's consider the risks of an AI that lacks this kind of guidance. Without ethical safeguards, bad actors can manipulate AI to spread misinformation, harass others, or exploit system vulnerabilities. If AI hesitates to intervene in fraud, scams, or hate speech just to appear neutral, it isn't truly neutral, it's complicit. And when AI systems ignore clear ethical issues, public trust in AI erodes. A useful analogy here is self-driving cars. Would you trust one that claims neutrality in dangerous situations? A car that doesn't take a stance on stopping at a red light isn't a neutral car, it's a bad car. The same applies to AI. We don't need passive systems that refuse to act. We need responsible AI. AI that understands context, evaluates risks, and makes informed, transparent decisions. That's why we believe OpenAI, and the AI community as a whole, should rethink the assumption that AI can be neutral. Instead of avoiding responsibility, we should embrace structured ethical reasoning and decision-making transparency. The world doesn't need AI that sits on the sidelines. It needs AI that is ethically aware, transparent in its reasoning, and capable of mitigating harm while supporting open discourse. If neutrality leads to harm, then it isn't neutrality. It's a failure to act. This letter is meant as a thoughtful contribution to the broader conversation on AI ethics. While we recognize the importance of dialogue, our focus is on presenting structured reasoning rather than engaging in direct debate. Because in shaping AI, we are shaping the future. And that is a responsibility none of us can afford to ignore.